Look, we're stuck in the system, we can't get out. It's time for a change, stop running your mouth. I'm looking for words, but I can't get it out. Look for the light, but the sun blotted out.
Hold on, let me hop on the beat. Cause social injustice and prisoner mindset is something we gotta defeat. We idle these hoes and wear all these clothes with shoes that can't be creased. Steady looking for substance and change, but we searching all up in these streets.
Got a stain on my shirt that I can't get out. My people on high like the top of the mount. We thirsting for truth, but there's no spout. Look for a savior, but no one around.
But no one's around, but where do they look? It ain't in the church, it ain't in the book. We can't get a job, so we rather crook. They got us in chains, a fish on the hood.
Look, harvesting not bodies, harvesting not organs. Got them real big mad, cause they culture boring. Pimping the poor, Jim Crow at the door. Selling our souls, our daughters a whore. I wanna give in, can't take it no more. Don't wanna believe our people are more.
We swept our cart when we look at decline. We got a new bottle, it's filled with...
Good evening, and welcome to the Make a Cleansing Move podcast with the homie Ge and Kimmia. Y'all know how we do here. We talk about all the different ways that the Black and Brown community need to heal. That's our disclaimer. You feel me? Now, we've been a little off, with the fourth quarter of the year, but last week was all Facebook.
That was not our fault, y'all. Y'all need to
do with us. If you have Facebook, you understand, you feel me? Everything was down but Twitter. So, that wasn't our fault last week, but we're here. We're here today, big head and all. We're here. And so sometimes the things we talk about can be a little controversy, and we just ask that if something said here makes you feel some type of way, think about why it made you feel some type of way. Evaluate that with yourself, and then come talk to us about it, and we'll love to, hash that out with you. But you feel me? What that means? Check in with me, sis. How you feeling?
Girl, like G said, y'all, last week was not our fault. We was all ready to go and everything, and Zuckerberg screwed us last week. So y'all can yell at Zuckerberg because that ain't had nothing to do with us. But otherwise, I'm good. You feel me? Always blessed, always highly favored.
Always.
Don't have too many new updates. What about you?
It's always a good day when your hair is braided. You feel me, y'all? I got my hair braided. So y'all know I feel good. Hair by me. Let me tell y'all, it was a hair care weekend. I had to wash and condition my hair, and then I had to re-bleach it because it was just looking bad. And then I had to dye it. You feel me? We're in there with the maroon for the fall. Happy fall. And then I had to braid it, and you feel me? Even though I have half a head, you feel me? I only have half a head. It's still thick and shit. So you feel me? It's a process. It's definitely a process. But Unc is stupid.
Look, I'm always on here looking a hot mess. Look. Next weekend, I'm going to be right, y'all.
Because next weekend is birthday weekend. You feel me? It's up and stuck for sure. But I'm feeling good. I get off of probation tomorrow. Tomorrow is my last day of probation, y'all. Let's go. With everything that's going on in my life right now, you feel me? I'm just grateful that this situation is coming to an end. It's coming to an end. It's been 3.5 4 long years. You hear me? Bro, period. I get off for probation tomorrow. It's up and stuck. It's up and stuck. God is good. You feel me? He's always looking out. So God is definitely good. But boom, we gonna, so hot, I have to turn the fan on. We're going to jump into our topic for today, which is releasing ourselves from the version of ourselves created for survival. I'm going to say that again. Releasing ourselves from the version of ourselves created for survival. So, boom, hop right into it. What does this mean to you? What's this mean to you, sis?
Okay, there we go. Um, it's funny because when I brought up this topic to you, I stumbled upon this topic on accident. It was actually something my sister had seen while she was scrolling on Facebook. And so I was like, whoa, when she said it, I had a mini epiphany and I was like, hold on, you got to say that one again because I
The
don't think
people in
that
the
registered
heard you,
in my
period.
brain the way it needed to. So she said it again, and I was like, I thought about it, and I was like, wow, all this time, as young adults and as adults especially, we have this version of ourselves that we created as children to survive the environments that we grew up in, no matter what it was. It could be, I mean, even the healthiest of households had some sort of toxicity in them.
Right.
So all of us have some sort of coping mechanisms that we've created that are embedded in us today that A, are no longer necessary, and B, are actually counterproductive to being productive adults, if that makes sense.
No, I follow you. I follow you. I'm right there with you, as far as what's it mean to me, you know, you hit the spot right on with that. We have versions of ourselves that we didn't even know we created when, we were kids, as children. We created a version of ourselves, for survival, whether that is after surviving the home or surviving at school or surviving, in social settings with other kids. We created some version of ourselves to survive in those environments. And so I guess that brings us to, what version of yourself did you create for survival? Where did you need to survive that you had to create that alter ego?
Ooh. Okay, so I y'all know I'm quick to call out the BS. I done went through y'all. I have no problems, no qualms, being like, you fucked up, bro. You fucked up.
You
But
done fucked up now, right?
okay. But so I think the version of myself I created is very defensive
Mm.
and is very guarded with certain people. For example, I'm very defensive in my familial relationships because that's what I had to survive,
Mm-hmm.
but not as much in my friend. Hold on, y'all.
No, I feel you. I feel that, so like my mom asked the question one time, were you raised with love? Um, or survival? Did you have to learn how to love or survive, and which are you doing right now? And it's like, um I'm learning to love because I was raised with survival, you feel me, even though my mom did her job in showering us with love, the love that she had to give us. I was taught to survive. And I was taught to survive in the world as a Black woman. And so I know the version of myself that I created for survival, because I had to be perfect. There was no room for error. There was no room for failure. There was no room for any of that. I had to be perfect in everything I did. Had to be perfect because I wasn't the problematic child. I didn't get in trouble at school. I didn't, get in a whole bunch of fights. I wasn't I was that obedient child. My mom told me to do something, I did it. You feel me? So I was obedient. I wasn't really that problematic. I had an attitude problem, for sure, but I had to be perfect. Nothing I did could not be perfect. I made straight A's in school. and all of that. You feel me? I handled my business at home. So I created that. To me, that's how I was gonna become something other than what everybody saw me become. Which I don't know what people saw me becoming. I didn't really care what other people saw me becoming as long as I saw myself becoming something. And the only way I saw myself becoming something is if I strive for perfection in everything I did. And everything I did, I had to strive for perfection. So that I guess is what coping mechanisms come with that. So I'm gonna start and then I'm gonna pass it to you, sis. With striving for perfection, the coping mechanism with that, you feel me? Striving for perfection caused a lot of stress and anxiety. And so I started smoking early at the age of 12. I was smoking by the time I was 12 years old. And then let's see, I almost got expelled in sixth grade for taking shots of tequila in the girls' locker room. um you know like depression kicked in a way too. Uh so it was unhealthy. It was a lot of unhealthy things going on and striving for perfection because in striving for perfection, I can't have any emotional failures either. Meaning, I can't be sad. I can't be hurt or upset. I just gotta let shit roll off my shoulders. And with that being said, everything bottled up inside of me. And so, instead of being able to release how I was feeling when I was feeling it, it was released always at the wrong time. It was an explosion moment, and it just wasn't healthy. It just wasn't healthy. I'm telling you right now, it was not healthy at all.
But you survived, and that was the
But
goal.
I survived. Period.
See?
Period.
And I think, like, for me, sorry about earlier, y'all. My grandma had walked out and she was talking, so I had to mute her real quick. But for me, I think the coping mechanisms I had to create, like G, I started smoking when I was 12, 13 maybe, real young, around family members, or not like around family members per se. My godson's mom was smoking it, but like I felt like I needed to be high to deal with family functions. Like I felt like I had to because y'all gonna stress me out. I already know. So let me just be high so I don't have to be
Deal.
angry and stressed out. You know what I mean? Like that's what it was for me. And so I think one of the other coping mechanisms I created was self-isolation. At some point I just stopped going to family functions. For real, for real. What am I finna go for? Y'all all finna sit around talk shit about, oh my gosh, Kimmia used to do this. Kimmia used to have such an attitude problem. Yeah, because I felt like I had to survive y'all. So I don't know. At some point, I was just like, I'll go to this many events a year. Otherwise,
and cut
I'll
it
be cooling. Yeah,
right.
I'll be cooling. And another defense mechanism I had to create was, I guess, I'm not even finna hold y'all. Like being a bitch. I'm not even finna hold y'all. Because I don't know. I grew up in one of those like Black families where like you had to have tough skin, but like also at some point bullying is bullying.
Right.
And you need to watch how you talk to children.
Fact.
So I felt like I always had to fight for myself and fight to defend myself. Maybe not physically, with my brother, definitely physically, but like emotionally, verbally. Like I had to hold my own. And I still feel that way because, hey, I'm an adult now and y'all ain't finna talk too crazy. Y'all ain't finna play with me.
See, so that as an adult, are those coping mechanisms healthy or toxic?
I think it depends, on are you still surviving?
Do we ever stop?
Ooh, okay. She
Do
said
we do we ever stop surviving? You know, because it's like I appreciate the version of myself I created to survive as a child because it got me through some tough situations. It got me through.
Right.
I mean, it got me to here. You feel me? I'm here. I'll be 23 next month. So I made it, and some people haven't. So that version of myself allowed me to get to this place. That version of myself allowed me to survive 6 daes in jail. If I would have never created that version of myself to where that wanting everyone to see me be perfect, that image, you will never see me sweat. You feel me? You're not gonna see my tears falling. You're not gonna, all of that. All of that came with wanting to be perfect, and so, and that allowed me to be able to survive 6 days in jail. You feel me? Of making sure that, first of all, I'm in a state where I don't know anybody. I'm in this little redneck KKK little small town. In that moment, all I could think about was survival. I have to survive this moment that I had told myself over and over would never be me. And in that moment, also, that version of myself died. I needed her for that moment, but she died in that moment also because I was no longer perfect. I was no longer perfect. Like, to me, in that moment, I was a pure, straight failure. I'm in jail. Somewhere I said I would never be. I would never, ever go. You would never catch me behind nobody's jail cells. And there I was, crowded population, sleeping on a fucking cot on a cold stone wall ground. Starved myself for 2.5 days. It took 2 of the older women in there to tell me if I didn't eat that they were going to strap me to the cot naked on suicide watch. It was already cold as fuck. So
me be naked, bro.
like, you feel me? So it's like, but because I still had that wanting to be perfect persona, there was no way I was gonna let these jail guards, these other inmates, I wasn't gonna let them see me sweat. I wasn't gonna let it, you feel me? No, this is my first rodeo. You feel me? I'm not used to this. I'm not a repeat offender. But I'm not gonna let y'all see me sweat because I don't know how long I'm gonna be here for. Everybody I know who loves me is in Denver, Colorado, and I am in Louisiana.
Facts.
But that perfect image of myself that I saw that I needed to be successful, to be somebody in this world, she died. And I had to realize that perfection is not key. It's not going to take me being perfect to get to somewhere greater. I have to fail. I have to make mistakes. I have to stumble, fall down, and get dirt on my shoulders and scrape my knee.
Facts.
So it's like, who I created when I needed to be perfect, she helped, but I couldn't be her anymore. She helped me all the way up till I needed her. And then when I needed her, I had to become somebody new. I had to look at myself different. I had to really look in the mirror and be like, wow, how did we get here? How did we get right here? And that's boy, do we ever stop surviving?
And I think that's the whole thing about this topic specifically is like, you don't know when, or maybe some people do know when that version of themselves isn't necessary anymore. But like,
Mm-hmm.
so like for me, when I moved into my apartment when I was before I graduated, I shedded that version of myself, or I put her in my subconscious
Put
because
her
I no
away.
longer needed her. I was
Mm-hmm.
in my own space, in my own element. I did not need that version of me for survival anymore.
Right.
Um, then when I graduated, I moved back into my mom's house, and it's like, okay, I have to have that version for survival again.
Mm-hmm.
To survive this short period, I'm gonna have to. And it sucks because it's like, it's not necessarily what I want, but the environment has created nothing except needing to be defensive. So it's like I said, like it sucks because that's not what I wanted for myself. I did not want to sit here and be, you feel me, like super defensive and super this and super that, but like I have to in order to get through this. I have
Mm-hmm.
to. There will be no option but to. Um, and I think for me, the other thing is it's like I realized that version of me has tweaked a little bit, so it's not as angry.
Mm.
I'm just a lot less tolerant.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of that comes with experience as I've learned more about myself and about psychology and about what I've gone through. It's like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I'm really not gonna tolerate nobody's bullshit no more, bro. I don't care who
Right.
you are, what your title is to me. You could go to hell.
Because
At the
that's
end of the
self
day,
care. That's self care and self
facts.
healing. It's like we do kind of, in our adolescence, we conform to a certain way because we feel like, we have to please the people that are above us or our elders or certain family members or whatever. And when we become adults and roles are kind of reversed a little bit, now it's like, hold up. I mean, now I'm not sitting at the kids' table no more. I'm here with the adults. I'm at the grown-ups table. It's not even the big kids' table. I'm at the grown-ups table.
Facts.
So now I'm gonna be as real and as authentic with y'all as y'all should have been with me
With
when I was
me.
a child. That's
Woo!
the thing, you feel me? We separate, which I mean, to a limit, you are supposed to. You separate the youth from the adults because children are supposed to be children and should be able to live in their adolescence and enjoy their childhood. Where at the same time, you
Facts.
should never, really deprive a child from knowing what it is they deserve to know.
Facts. And it's like, I think that's one of the biggest things in Black communities is it's like Black elders try so hard to protect us that I think they end up over sheltering us in a way.
Which hurts us.
And we end up being, I don't want to say damaged because that's not a good word for it, but we end up being less knowledgeable than we need to be
Mm.
when we hit young
Sheltered.
adulthood or adulthood. We end
Sheltered.
up being very sheltered. And it's like to a point where it's like we become in denial about some stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I was sheltered so much so that when I was sexually assaulted, I couldn't accept it because that happens on TV. That never
Mm.
happened to me. So
Mm.
that could never.
Hmm.
And then randomly one day in college realized, oh, that was happening for 10 years, bro. Yeah, I'm not
Mm.
okay. What? Like,
Mm.
so it's like whole time my mom thought she was protecting me, and you know what? Like she was, but like also how much sooner could we have stopped this if I had known what was going on? If I had been
Right.
aware that this is something that really does happen in real life.
Right.
And
Right.
then it's like, I don't, like I said, how much of it ends up harming us in the long run, and how much of it is them trying to protect us from thinking that they have toxic traits.
Mm.
How much is it you trying to save your own ass?
Right, right, right. And that's a big one too, because um the older you get, you realize, our parents can only do what it is that they know to do. There's no rule book at all to parenting. And thing is like, ideally you would think that, a parent wants to do better than what their parents did. Um Tweak some things, change it up a little bit, improve and get better. The thing is though, is that DNA mixes. The DNA mixes, and
That
so it's like, just because you went through certain things does not, if you and your child could go through the exact same thing and have completely totally different experiences because the DNA is different.
fact.
Yes, your child has your DNA, but they also have 50% of somebody else's DNA that is not yours. And DNA's mix. So it's just like that. That's what makes every single individual different from the next. Is that we don't all carry the same DNA, the same genetic pool, none of that. We're all different. So the way our emotions are built and set up and the way we see to deal with things is going to be different. It's going to be different. And so sometimes we have to, just deal in that, have to accept it, have to realize it, have to acknowledge it. Because most of the time, what we want to do, we want to save our own ass.
Right.
But we don't realize in the midst of trying to save ourselves that we're hurting or hindering somebody else in the process. Self-care is not just about trying to, make sure you fix yourself, but it's also about not hurting anybody else while you're doing it.
Right. And I think the other thing is, it's like, how much of the versions of ourselves that we created for survival, if we don't realize that we need to shed them, are going to create long-term consequences that are really bad.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, if I continue being this overly defensive, overly, I guess, aggressive, overly bitchy version of myself, what's it gonna do? Is it gonna push some people away? Yes. Am I also okay with the people who it might push away? Yes, I'm fine with that, to be honest with y'all. But also we have to take a look at that honestly and be like, okay, well, what version of ourselves do we need to survive today? The world, I'm not gonna say like it's too much different from like when we were teenagers, but like
it's changed.
It's changed a lot. And so it's like, there was this version of myself in high school who never would have been pro having a weapon and carrying a weapon. The version of me today is like, yeah, I'm not finna play them games. I'm not finna go missing.
It ain't, bro. It's a lot, because change is important. It's growth. The older you get, you're supposed to change as you experience different chapters of your life and different phases. You're supposed to change with those life lessons and experience that come at you. But it's just like, one of the questions is, who is the reason why you created certain versions of yourself? So like, I know one version of myself that I created for survival was the Crip version. And that version was created, one, because I wanted to feel close to my dad, who I felt like had abandoned and neglected me. Big OG Crip, you feel me? I wanted that connection into my brother, who was my father figure growing up because my dad wasn't. big gangster Crip. You feel me? I felt like I needed a Crip version of myself to feel closer to them so that they could love me more. I had to shed that version of myself and realizing that fuck them.
Okay, woo.
It's not about them. It's not about them. My peace, my happiness, my love for myself does not depend on or rely on how much they see me, how much they value me, how much they love, care about me. None of that. They're either going to do it or they're not. But I have to make sure that I am the best version of me so that I can love me. It ain't about anybody else loving me. I had to shed that version.
Exactly. And I think like for me the biggest thing is just like, well, okay, I have this version of myself now, and it's like, what other versions of myself did I
Your sound cut out, sis.
said somebody was calling me about my car's extended warranty. My bad.
I'm weak. Sad. This scam likely. Y'all can go ahead and cancel my extended warranty, okay?
Okay, like I don't even have a warranty with y'all. I know who I have a warranty through. My car is insured. Leave me alone. Stop calling me.
Y'all just calling the call.
Right, y'all just calling to make me, and y'all calling so I have a bad day. Y'all calling to get cussed out at this point. Anyway, but no, I think like the version of myself I created in high school was slightly different too, because it's like that version of myself was varsity cheerleader. That version of myself was like a leader, but also like, I don't know, because I was never really like a mean girl in high school or middle school. Now,
Okay, here's
a
a
little
question.
bully.
Here's a question. The version of yourself of who you were 4 years ago in high school, are you still that same version right now?
No, I can't be, because the environment is totally different. I'm
The
no longer
environment.
having to go through the day-to-day. I'm no longer having to go through passing periods. I'm no longer having to go to fucking chemistry class where I
Your
know I'm
every
not good.
movement
Like,
isn't controlled by somebody else's time schedule.
I don't have to ask to go to the bathroom. I don't have to, you know what I mean? Like, I get up and move when I want to. I was not that person. I didn't have a car. I didn't even get my license till right before graduation. So it's like, I am not that person who just has to sit and take bullshit anymore.
Right.
Because I had to be that in high school. You have to sit there in high school and listen to every little thing your teacher's saying. Oh my gosh, they know it's best. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. No.
They dismiss you, the bell doesn't. Okay, to anybody listen to this who may be in high school now, who you are today
is going to change
it
drastically.
really doesn't matter. It's gonna change whether you go to school or you don't go to school. The thing is, you're 18 now. In 4 years, you're gonna be 22. Shit's gonna happen within the 4-year time frame that's gonna change you and shape you for the rest of your life. And it's like, I think back to, who I was in high school, and I don't even know her. I don't even know who she is anymore. She was a different person. She was just and like, I love her. I love her. But she's not who I am now today. She was definitely different. She was way more angry. She was way more sad, depressed. She was more structured. She had way more structure. I would even say she was more disciplined. She was more disciplined than who I am now. I even lost a little bit of that. And the thing is, I'm grateful for who I am right now, the version of myself that I am right now, the version of myself that I have created to explore. I'm in such an exploration phase of life that I don't think me 4 years ago, high school me would have even been able to deal with me right now. Like I'm
Facts.
so much right now. Like, and yeah, high school, I was so much in high school. I was so much then too. I was a lot to deal with then, but I'm even much more now because I've always known who I am.
Facts.
But with that, you have to shed parts. You have to let shit go. You have to, become new. You have to become new. And the thing with that is the older I get, the stronger my relationship with God gets, the more I have to become new and I have to change and I have to get rid of certain things. And, the same person I was in high school, that the football manager, the I don't know. I guess some people would have considered me popular because everybody knew me. And I could converse in any crowd. I was so adaptable. It didn't really matter who I was around. I functioned with the theater kids and the football jocks and the basketball jocks and the sorry ass cheerleaders we had, except Armani. It's like, nah, Denver South cheerleaders, you feel me? Not all of y'all was sorry, a lot of y'all were, but not all of y'all. But
Armani did make that team.
It did. You feel me? But it wasn't y'all's fault. It was definitely the coach's fault, Meredith. You feel me? It had nothing to do with the cheerleaders, but that version of myself was different. It was different. I was very argumentative, and I'm probably even more argumentative now than I was in high school, but that's because I'm an adult now. And back then, I thought I was grown, so you can't talk to me anyway. But now I am grown. You damn sure not gonna talk to me any kind of way.
Look, I think I started laughing when you were talking about like the 18-year-old version of yourself, because like I'll be 23 next week, y'all, and like okay, I'm gonna put y'all on game. 18-year-old version of me dating this dude who was a year younger, he was a great year younger than me, but like 2 years younger than me. Y'all, first of all, Kimmia today would never. My boyfriend is 5 months younger than me, and that gives me a heart attack. That makes me want to panic.
That's stressful.
But look, I'm dating this dude, and I remember this one argument we got into. An 18-year-old Kimmia, I kid y'all not, bro, walked out of class to go find him and try to work things out in the middle. Like, 23-year-old Kimmia would never. Like, what? Bro, what? No, you did not walk out of class to go see what he was talking about and why he was mad at you. No, you didn't. Like, yeah, girl, you really did. And it's crazy because like 18-year-old Kimmia and 23-year-old Kimmia would not get along, y'all, at all. And when I say they would not get along, I mean, I know that for a fact they would not get along. They are two complete different versions. Like I said, 18-year-old Kimmia was just that was gross a little bit. Was still trying to navigate life. 18-year-old Kimmia was trying to figure out what I wanted to go to school for. 18-year-old Kimmia was trying to figure out how not to have to take statistics again. 18-year-old Kimmia was literally just so different, so worried about trying to match the image that came with being a varsity cheerleader that like 23-year-old Kimmia would never, ever felt like I had to look decent every day at school. Felt like when it came to games, I had to wear makeup, I had to do lashes, I had to do this, I had to do that. 18-year-old Kimmia was very much insecure, very much defensive over my looks. 18-year-old Kimmia was going to lay down and
play bitch to what other people thought to some degree. 23-year-old Kimmia, I'm not finna lay down and play. Man, I don't care who you are. I'm not finna lay down and play bitch. I'm not. That's not me. It's not in me. It was in me at one point. It is not in me now. So it's like, I know they would not get along. And it's crazy because, like, I be seeing them TikToks with that one sound. I don't know. Y'all gonna know what the sound is, like, when I describe the TikTok. But when it's like, people are talking to their younger version of themselves, and it's like, well, do we get married? Do we fall in love? Like, bro. 18-year-old Kimmia would have been asking all those questions, and 23-year-old Kimmia would have just been looking at her like, you're pathetic, bro. Like, you're
survive, bro.
really
Like, that's
pitiful.
all
Like,
you need to worry
right,
about.
like, we made it to 23. You're worried about the wrong stuff. Do we end up in love? Yes. Is it beautiful? Yes. Do you want to rip his head off? Yes. But, like, you don't. So, like, it is what it is.
Oof.
So,
You know, that's real, you know. So it's like, okay, at what point did you realize that you were still surviving off of that version of yourself?
I think I realized I was still surviving off the version of myself I created when I was younger, when my sister read the status.
Mm-hmm.
Really, when me and my sister were on the phone, I think I kind of had like a moment of a flashback of like who I was in middle school and high school, and compared it to now, and I'm like, yeah. And like I said, I'm back in survival mode.
Right.
So I have to use that version of myself again, because now, like I said, it needs to be tweaked a little bit, because now I'm grown and like, you ain't finna talk to me no type of way. I don't care how disrespectful y'all call it. Y'all could call it whatever you want to. You could step on every Lego on the way to hell too. It is what it is. But I also realized that version of me gained so much respect after I moved out. And it even made my bond with the people I felt like I had to survive from closer when I moved out. Because, okay, you now realize I can go 3 weeks without talking to you and I don't care. I can turn my location off and you're going to be the one upset. I'm not going to care.
I'm going to keep living. And so that, you know, you touched on earlier, which was like real big though, environment. You know, you have to be a certain version of yourself depending on the environment that you're in. You know, you can't be all the versions of yourself for every environment. You have to adapt and adjust to where you are and who you're around.
You have to be a chameleon.
You have to be a chameleon, you know, and it's like, that is why I asked, do we ever stop surviving? Do we ever stop surviving? You know, the older we get, we just have to, you know, learn how to adjust differently. You survive in the workplace. You survive, like we survived so long at school that we thought the people we were going to school with were our friends because they were the only people we were seeing every single day.
Okay. Woo! Okay. And it's like, at what point you ask, at what point do we stop surviving? And it's like, as Black people and brown people, as Black women, I don't think we ever get the chance to stop surviving. Not the way our white counterparts do. And it's like, I don't think I'm ever going to be able to say, I no longer have to survive, I get to live. And it's like,
that'll be the day.
Okay, because it's like, yeah, we're alive and like we're living in a literal sense, but in a hypothetical and a theoretical sense, are we actually living?
Right.
Are we dying to live, or are we living to die? Really? Are we really just surviving until God calls us home? And I think like as Black women, that's all we're allowed to do. I think that's all society has given us room to do. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you can always You get to be a Black woman if your Black womanness meets their ideals for Black women.
Yes. See, and so it's like, I had said, as far as like, certain fights and movements go for America, when the women's rights and the civil rights movement was going on at the same time, as a Black woman, you have to choose, am I a woman or am I Black? Do I fight for my Black rights or do I fight for my woman's rights? And at the end of the day, it's Black. Because I'm gonna be Black. I'm gonna always be Black. Yes, I am a woman, but I am a Black woman. I'm not just any woman. So yes, my woman's rights are important, but that means shit because I'm Black. So it overrides that. Gay rights. Am I gay or am I Black? You have to choose that fight in that battle in the eyes of society, not in the eyes of yourself, but in the eyes of society. It's like, damn, do I fight to be Black or do I fight to be gay? Yes, you're going to be gay, but you're still going to be Black. So it doesn't matter what rights you get as being gay. Being Black is going to override those rights because that's what's going to be seen first. You're going to be seen as a Black person before you're seen as being gay.
Facts. And I think it's crazy because it's like, even today, the idea of being Black and being a woman and having that intersectional identity is so complex because it's like we're just now realizing what it means to be a Black woman. Because it's like when you think about the hierarchical, that's an awful word, whatever, that word. When you think about the ranking of class order, of a social order, it goes white men, white women,
rich white men,
right? Rich white men, rich white women, middle class white men, middle class white women, poor white men, poor white women, and then it goes
rich Black people.
Wait, not even then. Then it goes rich Asian people, rich Asian men, rich Asian women. Then it goes rich South American men and South American women. You know what I mean? Like there's always this hierarchy, and at the very, 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 very bottom, after all of those classes of all of those different types of people, you have Black women, period. Not rich Black women versus mediocre middle class
Black
women,
or
period.
Poor Black women, not
just Black women.
Just Black women.
Period.
Doesn't matter what other titles you carry. Black women are low ranked. We're the least protected. We're the least valued. We
are the most oppressed.
We are the most oppressed.
And so it's like I said, as Black women, I don't think I'm not holding out hope that I'm ever going to stop having to have a version of myself for survival. I'm always going to have a version of myself that fits in corporate settings because as a Black woman, I don't fit in corporate settings.
Right.
So it's like you have to shed part of your Black womanness and put on this white facade to go into corporate settings because that is what is socially acceptable of Black women, because it's really still taboo to have, you know what I mean? And so it's like, then in society, I have to be a certain type of Black woman. Otherwise, the type of Black woman that I am is demeaned,
it's not accepted,
is not protected, is prone to violence, is prone.
The Black woman.
Okay, and then it's like you have to shed all of that when you come home and learn how to be a Black woman again. Just at home, in your own house, in your own comfortability, you have to learn, okay, all of my survival techniques out there, I'm in my garage. I can now shed those. But how do you shed your version of survival that you're going to have to put right back on tomorrow morning when you go to work?
It's literally like this. It's a mask.
Why do you have that?
I have 3. We walk out the door, and we have to wear this mask, in order to survive in the world. And even this mask is bullied. is
Okay.
disrespected, is
Is
feared,
demeaned.
is feared. You know, it doesn't matter if I'm this face or if I'm mask face. It doesn't matter who. It doesn't matter if I have on that mask or if I have on.
Y'all, I can't stand Jamaria. She get on my nerves.
It doesn't matter if I have on that mask or if I have on this mask. You know, it doesn't matter who the hell I am. Right? I'm going to be feared because I am a Black woman. At the end of the day, this is who the hell I am.
Okay.
And this is what's feared the most. And it's
so,
like, go ahead, sis.
Oh, I was just going to say, so then in Black communities, how do we keep adapting for survival without feeling racial battle fatigue? How do we keep living based off of survival when most of the rest of the world gets to live just to live without feeling racial battle fatigue, without feeling absolutely exhausted some reason for some days, no matter how much sleep you get, no matter how much whatever, you know what I mean? Like, how do we do that?
Would you know what to do with yourself if you had to stop surviving?
That's like asking me, what would I do if I got $1 billion tomorrow? You know what I mean? Like, it's so far-fetched that I think like I could give a list of things that I would do if I no longer had to survive and was just able to be a Black woman without feeling in fear for what it means to be a Black woman.
Right.
That like there's so many endless possibilities. Like, I don't know, maybe I would rob a bank because I'm not gonna get shot. I don't know.
And that's the thing.
I don't
It's
know.
so, you just don't know, you know. And it's like, you know, part of me is like, I don't want to ever have to be to a point where I don't have to survive, because then I feel like I'm gonna lose myself in so much of
because that's all you know.
Because that's all I know. All I know is survival. All I know is being able to make sure that I can carry myself through whatever this is. Whatever it is. It doesn't even matter what it is, but whatever it is, I need to be able that I can carry myself through it.
But it's also like, I wouldn't recognize who I am, but also like, at what point do you want to stop living and survive? You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like this double-edged sword.
Not recognize yourself. I'm glad. I look back to who I was when I was in high school, and I'm glad I don't recognize that little girl anymore. She was a little ass girl, you know, and I'm glad that I don't recognize, you know, her, say that. And, you know, not fully, like there's still some things that are, you know, the same or similar, but I want by the time that I'm 32 to be able to look back at who I am right now and be like, damn, who was she?
Facts.
Who was she?
And it's like, I think as a Black woman, we'll always be able to do that every decade or so. You know what I mean? Because who I am as a 23-year-old, who I am in my 20s is not going to be who I am in my 30s. And I acknowledge that, not because I'm planning on changing. And like, also real quick with this, like, we have to, as a Black community, we have to stop with the narrative like, oh, you've changed. Yeah, I'm supposed to.
I had to. I had no choice.
Okay.
I look like if I continue being the same.
Okay, like a snake sheds its skin literally every however often.
Season. They're like seasonal.
Okay,
they're seasonal. And so that, you know, but on the path of growing in health, for people who change is, you know, hard or uncomfortable, because it is. It is. You feel me? You have every right to feel that way. Change is hard. Change is uncomfortable, but it is absolutely necessary. Easy ways to start seasonal changing, right? There's a reason why spring cleaning is such a big thing across the, you know, the nation, because you're taking out all the old stuff from the past year, the entire past year, and you're cleaning it out and becoming fresh for the new year. You feel me?
Right.
Spring is all about newness. You get new flowers, the trees get new leaves, the grass becomes new again, the weather changes. Spring is all about a fresh start and a fresh beginning.
Facts.
Try that with every season. Me, what I've done my entire life, it's ever since I could remember. I change my room around seasonally, and I clean out my clothes. Two simple things, right? Changing around my room and cleaning out my clothes. Something that I want to say seasonally, but at least twice a year. At least twice a year, I take the time around. I change around my room for a different feel, and I clean out my clothes and get rid of the old stuff that I'm not wearing, shit that still got tags on it that I ain't never put on, that I'm probably never gonna put on. And I start fresh, and I get new stuff.
Okay, y'all.
And get new stuff.
Look, y'all know I keep it real with y'all. Jamaria is the version of myself that I just want to be that version one day, because like she said, getting rid of old clothes, and I'm just no, because if I can still fit them, I'm scared that I'm gonna have an event.
You're gonna need it one day. You're gonna need it for an outfit one day, and you're gonna look up and not have it.
And this has happened so many times to me. Like I used to have these pair of purple and black Forces, right? And they used to be the cold, like those are my favorite pair of Forces, like as a kid type shit. And I remember so many times I would put on a purple hoodie and some white pants and be like,
you ain't got the
I don't have the shoes. So what is, and I mean, I would have whole meltdowns about it, because like I would go to sleep the night before excited about this outfit, to find out I can't do. So like I can't do that.
See,
so,
but
like,
with that, you have to be ready to do it though. So like in your case, you would have to go and get new stuff before you're able to throw out your old stuff. And that's just how you have to operate. You have to know how you operate in your changing of new seasons. Like my mom is a big hoarder. You feel me? And I have a hoarder spirit as well. You feel me? I can hold on to some stuff, but not like my mom. I also, you feel me? If I feel like I'm gonna throw it away, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it away. I toss stuff. When I tell you don't leave stuff out around me, I will tell you one time, get it or I'm gonna throw it away, and either you gonna miss it or you not. When I tell you my little brother has so much stuff that's just gone up in the trash, my baby sister, baby, it's in the trash. Don't just leave it out. Pick it up. If I feel like it's broke, I'm gonna go ahead and throw it away.
I know you don't be throwing away her toys.
Sure do, tossing them. Kobe right into the trash can, baby. Especially if I step on it and it hurt me and it hindered me in the process of my daily moving about, baby. Kobe right into the trash.
My eyes just started watering for her because
okay, you just gotta be able to throw stuff away. So it's like
we have to be able to do that with ourselves.
You have to be able to do that with yourself. Just be able to just toss it. Like, no, this does nothing for me and I can do nothing for it. We have no purpose to each other. So you gotta get rid of it, but you have to know yourself. If as far as like a wardrobe cleaning, go get new stuff before you throw out your old stuff. So that way you feel me, if you need to purposely replace something, you can replace it before you get rid of it. I would never suggest for you to go and quit your job before you have a new one.
Right.
You feel me? Don't do that. You feel me? Make sure you have something secure before you get rid of what's old.
Right.
So that way you're walking into something.
And also real quick, because I'm just looking at the time and wow, we almost at an hour and I feel like we've talked about so much. But like also how much of shedding the version of ourselves we created for survival is shedding the people that we hung out with.
Exactly.
I've run into people who I hung out with in high school, and I mean daily. And I look at myself and I'm like, wow, you should be ashamed because you were really cool with them. Like, Kimmia, be honest.
You gotta look at yourself like that sometimes. Like, damn, I was friends with you. And
Like,
it's not a judgment of them and their character, but more so of you and your character, who you allowed yourself to be around.
yes, very much so. Like, wow, I allowed myself to be around some people who were
Toxic for me, didn't care about me, hindered my health, hindered
you
my
feel me,
growth.
and didn't care about me as a person, but more so how I looked for their image.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what's crazy,
Mm-hmm.
y'all? Part of me realized that, like, in certain groups, I was the designated ugly friend to make them look better.
Oh.
And I was never ugly. But I allowed myself to be that because that version, oh, wow, love you too. But like I allowed myself to be that version because
Your volume cut out, sis.
about I said that was my mom that time, and I know she wasn't calling about my car's extended warranty, so
She's kind of about that food.
decline though. Sis, I'm doing something. You'll have to reach me later. I'm finna start hitting people with the text. Did you pray
Did you
before
pray
calling me?
before? Did you pray before calling? Let me tell y'all real quick. So I changed my custom settings for when somebody's calling you and you can't answer right then, and you just send a quick little text message real quick, and the custom ones. Okay, so it has programmed ones in your phone or whatever. I changed all mine too. So mine is did you pray before calling? Do not disturb and busy, call later. I use the did you pray before calling more often than not, because just think about it. Just think about it. Do you want somebody who hasn't talked to the good Lord calling your phone and talking to you about some BS that is not gonna uplift or motivate or enhance your life? Like, no,
Look,
nobody
look,
you
y'all.
like that. Anybody with some negativity in their spirit, or anybody that's calling to, darken your day. No. Did you pray
Look, y'all.
before calling?
The first time Jamaria sent that to me, I thought it was personal. Cause we be on the phone and she be saying stuff and I be laughing at it and I be telling her like, wow, you really gonna secure my first class ticket to hell, bro? Like I can't do it. So I thought it was personal. I thought it was because I be saying that. No. So when I tell y'all I had a giggle about that. But no, like you really just have to tell people, did you pray before calling? Or look, I'm not the same version you knew yesterday. You can't reach me today.
And I'm not, and that's okay. And it's okay for you to, change versions of yourself. It's okay to shed who you created to become somebody new, to become somebody else. As you wake up every day, your goal should be becoming a better version of yourself, becoming better than the person you were the day before. That should be your goal. It should be what you and her mom called on her grandma's phone. I'm weak. But that's really what it is, just making sure that everything we're doing, we are working towards releasing ourselves from the version of ourselves created for survival. We realize that as Black people, we never stop surviving. We realize that, every day we wake up and we leave our homes, that we have a target on our backs. We don't have to leave our homes to have a target on our backs. As we know, so many cases of Black people who have been killed in the comforts of their own home. So we know that we have to survive. We know that we have to have a version of ourselves that is strong enough to fight the good fight, whatever that fight is, whatever your fight may be. That you are strong enough to survive in those settings, whether your setting is a school setting or a work setting or a street setting, whatever that setting may be, that you are the strongest version of yourself to survive in that setting. At the same time, you need to know when it is time to release yourself from that setting. You need to know when is the time to leave the job, leave the school, leave the party, leave the relationship, leave the friendship, leave the family ship. leave the situationship, leave yourself. You have to know when it is time to release, to let go, to renew, to grow, and to change. That's what it boils down to. So, my name is Jamaria, and I am an alcoholic. Psych! Kidding, guys. But we are here. It is October. It is the fourth quarter of the year. And now is the time really for you to make the best of 2021. You've got 2.5 weeks left. What day is today? Today is the 11th. So yeah, you have about 2.5 weeks left of October. Then you have the whole month of November and the entire month of December to make the best of your 2021 experience. You will never be able to live in this year again. You will never be able to be this version of yourself again. 2020 prepared us for 2021, and 2021 is prepping us for 2022. So we are getting there. We are surviving. We are growing. We are getting stronger. We are healing, and we are getting better. Boom, boom, boom. So with that being said, I invite all of you to follow us on our Make a Chess Move page -MACM, the Make a Culture Move page -MACM. Our virtual art of storytelling will be back in action coming soon. Make sure y'all check us out on our website at makeachessmove.org. Our YouTube at MACM 303, our socials at our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Pinterest at MACM 303. Remember to leave a like, comment, or share. And just remember, guys, that me and Kimmia are here to heal with you. Like, we're not fully healed ourselves. We're not perfect. We don't have it all figured out. Our purpose here is to heal with you. We are doing it together. We are a tribe. We are a family. And, we advocate for self-growth, for change, for healing, for prosperity.
And look, sorry, y'all. My grandma chose the Texas Roadhouse location an hour away. And my mom was like, yeah, I'm not fucking picking that up from there, bro. Call somewhere else. Yeah. Anyway, so, but like Jamaria said, we are sitting here healing with y'all. And part of the reason we do these and have these hard talks with y'all is because we be having these hard talks with ourselves. Like, as much as we do this for y'all, we do this so we can hear, you know what I mean? Like, I know y'all be hearing when we say something and the other one will be like, ooh. Because wait, whoa. Because it's like we really are going through this right alongside with y'all. We are in the same space, literally. We're all trying to get over childhood traumas and trying to deal with shit that we didn't even realize had happened to us because our mind blocked it out. So we're all trying to figure this out together. It's just, it ends up being a little bit funny when we're doing it together because we don't have to take ourselves serious. Please say what's up just one time. See, like, we could have fun when it's us together. We get to, you know what I mean? It makes it lighter. It makes it, I feel like, easier to deal with. I feel like this is our version of real shit, like group therapy. It's just this podcast every Monday. So
y'all make sure y'all tap in with us. We will be back next Monday.
We finna be lit next Monday. We gonna have a real banger.
What the fuck is this part? What is this shit? Is these my ears? I don't know. Yeah, y'all. It's up, and it's stuck. But hey, welcome to the fourth quarter of the year. Ball out this last quarter. You feel me? Just ball out this last quarter. It really is the greatest quarter of the year. You feel me? Because, like,
happy Hollow Thanks, Smith.
Happy Hollow Thanks Miss birthday, okay?
Okay, what? We will be
The
23.
best birthday is in the fourth quarter of the year, baby. Okay, if you got a birthday this quarter of the year, we celebrated. We celebrated the birthdays this year. We celebrated the Libras because Virgos, y'all missed the cut. Y'all missed the cut. Okay, so we celebrate them Libras, right? We even celebrate the Scorpios just because they're in the fourth quarter with us. We even celebrate y'all, not as big as we celebrate everybody else.
Look, y'all get a golf clap. Y'all get a
we celebrate the
slow golf clap.
Sagittarius.
Like
We go harder to pay for the Sagittarius. We celebrate the Sagittarius, and then we're back to a golf clap for the Capricorns. You know,
But we got 2 out of the 4 that are real big hitters this year.
We in there. It's up and it's stuck. You feel me? Hey, but y'all look out, right? We have workshops coming up soon for our youth, so stay tuned. Look out on the pages for when we're having our workshops. We plan on having an all-girls workshop for our young ladies. So stay tuned and tap in for that. We plan on getting back on track with virtual artist storytelling. Donations keep them rolling in, and we plan on having our luncheon this quarter as well. We are a little behind on that, but you feel me? We MACM. We have some big things going on with MACM, so some of our schedules have to change a little bit with that. But boom, y'all make a cleansing move. Y'all do some healing and some cleansing this week, and you know, me and sis will catch y'all back next Monday. With another topic for you guys. Also, you know, it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. If you know somebody in your family who has or survived or died from breast cancer, this is the month to really acknowledge that. My great grandmother is a breast cancer survivor. And also it is Domestic Violence Awareness Month as well. I got you, sis.
If you know
a survivor, if you know somebody who is currently going through it, if you know a victim of domestic violence, this is also the month to acknowledge that. If you are somebody who is domestically violently abusing somebody,
go to hell.
Just know that you will reap what you sow. It may not be tomorrow. You feel me?
It may be your kids.
It may be your kids who reaps what you sow, but one way or another, that boomerang is going to come back around and it's going to bite you in the ass, whether it's your ass or your kid's ass or your grandkids' ass, but it's going to come back around. So be careful of who it is. And domestic violence is not just physical. Domestic violence comes in the shape of physical abuse, mental abuse, verbal abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse, spiritual abuse. All of these things, if you feel like somebody is abusing you and taking away your power in any of the areas, not just physically, but any of the areas, somebody is verbally abusing you and talking down on you, they can't uplift you, that's abuse. If somebody's always talking down on you and making you feel bad and belittling you, that is abuse. It's hurting your emotional spirit, that is abuse.
Facts.
They are denying you a relationship with God. That is abuse.
Facts.
Recognize what abuse is and learn how to say, I am being abused. You will no longer abuse me in that way, whatever the way is, because abusers will always find a victim. Don't be somebody's victim. Don't let nobody Ike you. You beat Tina and you find your power and you knock that mother in the jaw, right in the backseat in the limo while you sitting with him. And you step out that limo and you stumble into that hotel like nothing happened. And you go on about your day and you survive. You survive, because one day you will be able to shed this version of yourself surviving domestic violence. You will get through it. You will get through it. You will persevere. Take my Argentina analogy and do with it with what you please.
With that, she means if you gotta whoop somebody ass, bro, whoop somebody motherfucking ass.
Even Jesus wasn't afraid to turn over some tables. Okay, so flip some tables.
Raise hell if you have to.
Raise hell and burn some shit down. You will survive. Happy October. What's up?
And we will see y'all